Last August, we told you how the emergency room at Flint River Hospital, the only one for miles, surprised people in Macon County by closing its doors. 6 months later, Tom George went back to Montezuma, where everyone from EMS to the government has had to make some changes.
Earl Collins didn't know the ER in Montezuma was closed until he needed it last month.
Because I couldn't urinate, so I had to get help, you know.
Collins lives in rural Ideal in Macon County. At the nearest ER in Montezuma, all that's left are closed doors and caution tape. Instead, he had to drive 30 miles south to Americus to get help for a bladder infection.
Because I was just around my bladder, I was going to burst if I had to.
It's been the story in Montezuma since Flint River closed the ER in early September. EMS Director Joe Weaver says they've had to staff another ambulance just to handle longer trips to either Americus or Perry.
Well, it does put people at more risk. Instead of being able to, how would you say, a 10-minute transport time, you're looking at 30 to 35 minutes.
And long trips also mean long returns.
Because they said they have 2 trucks at that time, and they both was out. And they didn't have no way of getting to us, so they told us to take them on in the car.
EMS records showed the number of calls taken by E911 jumped by almost 50%, from 127 in September when the hospital closed to 189 in December. Without an ER, even illnesses like asthma can be more difficult to treat, as pediatricians don't always have the tools an ER does.
It's a case of waiting for an ambulance to come to transport, and then to actually, we don't have any of the medications, the IV medications that you would give in those kind of scenarios.
It's also caused a dent in the county's finances. Before the hospital closed, EMS already got a new ambulance, but now because of the higher call volume, the county has had to spend more money gassing them up and making sure there's enough medical supplies in here to handle the extra traffic. Since the closing, Macon County added around $400,000 in EMS expenses, almost a tenth of the small county's budget.
It is a tremendous deal. I mean, our economic base here is very, it's stable. However, we're in a rural area, and we don't get that type of growth in a year.
Local officials say they weren't given much notice before the ER shut its doors. In August, the hospital sent a letter to employees saying the closure would, quote, optimize reimbursements for the company.
I think they knew what the impact was, but basically, you know, as a business, I guess they're operating, you know, based on the bottom line.
So for now, people in Macon County have fewer options.
I think it would be great if the legislators could go into rural areas and build these hospitals or fund them some way or another, because these people out here don't have health care as far as hospital-wise.
So we need somebody to get on or do something around here, you know, make things a little better for us like it was last year.
Meanwhile, EMS says they'll continue to do what they've always done.
We will send a truck, we will take care of you, and get you to the hospital as quick as we can.
In Montezuma, Tom George, 13 WMAZ, Eyewitness News.
So far, we've been unable to reach Flint River CEO by phone for comment.